Finding and walking that special life path that will bring us happiness and fulfillment is a goal we all share. Our next guest did and is, and we're all the better for it. Stay tuned. Welcome to another edition of Montvale in Motion. I'm Tony Salerno, and with me today is an old friend to hundreds, if not thousands, of parents and students alike in Montvale. He's memorial school teacher and now author and motivational speaker, Jim Freeman, who, for the past 35 years, has inspired and guided our children through grammar school and helped lay the foundation for their lives. His commitment to them has been unwavering, and as you'll see, the joy he's gotten from his work is infectious. Welcome, Jim. Thanks for being with us.
Than't you so much for having me, Tony.
It's our
appreciate being here.
No, it's our pleasure. Just to let our audience know a little about your backstory,
Sure.
Why don't you begin by telling us a bit about yourself and what brought you to teaching?
So I was born and raised in Montvale. So I went through the memorial school as it was much smaller back then, but I went through Memorial, I went through Fieldstone, Pascagoula Hills as well. From there, I went on to the College of New Jersey, where I studied health and physical education. And being a teacher is something that I did always want to do. I think my earliest recollection was probably third grade, just having that feeling that I wanted to teach physical education. My dad was in education. At that point, he was a school administrator, already a principal. And so growing up, we would hang out in the school summers, we would help out, deliver books. And so just being in education seemed a natural fit, and it was something I, again, always wanted to do. And I guess heading into my final year of college, I thought, I think I want to go into sports psychology. And thankfully, I listened to my parents who said, listen, get your degree, get your undergraduate degree in education, finish it out, and then go for your master's in sports psychology. So I did listen. I went to the University of North Texas. I studied kinesiology and health promotion with a specialty in sports psychology, and then came back and thought I should probably earn a little bit of money before I go for that doctorate. And very fortunate to get the teaching job at Memorial, which at the time I thought would be a stepping stone to working with professional teams as a sports psychologist. And once my foot got in the door, I never looked back.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And may I mention that in those 35 years, you actually taught two of my children.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember them, but
I do. And two of your grandchildren too.
That's right. And two of my grandchildren. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to my son, Nicholas, who you had a couple of days ago, and he said you were the best phys ed teacher he's ever had. He loves you. He loves you.
I have to make sure he got an A+. I'll
right.
go back and check the records.
But I digress there for a little bit. So after 35 years now, what can you tell us about those years at Memorial? Any special overall impression or highlights or any of those things that you remember?
So many highlights. First of all of the children, it's one of my greatest joys to be able to reconnect with former students as adults, and just being able to see what they're doing and what they're achieving, and that I think is one of the biggest things. But as far as the school goes, there have been so many changes, whether it was administration or with curriculum or everything else. But I like to pride myself in embracing change. So, every part, every aspect of it has been tremendous. And just something that, has been wonderful. And if I have some highlights, I guess I did receive the Teacher of the Year, which was very nice to be recognized for that. I was nominated as Disney's National Teacher of the Year, which was a wonderful nomination. And then most recently, if I may, we actually I have a saying that in school, it's when we get to that hill and the students will say, I can and I will. and the hill represents anything that's difficult.
Sure.
So I've been saying that now since the early 90s, and we had a parent, Mrs. Nicole Petrillo, who volunteered her time to come in and paint a gigantic mural across the entire gym that says,
wonderful.
when we get to that hill, I can and I will.
Great.
So
That's
that might be the highlight right
Oh, that's
there.
terrific. But, you mentioned your dad was a principal. Haven't
Yes.
you ever wanted to step up to administration and become like a principal?
Not really.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, as the town's rec director for many years, that was an administrative role. And when doing that, even with the summer camp, even though I was hands-on with the kids, it really was an administrative role.
Right.
And I just find my joy is being with the children, being
That's great.
hands-on with the kids. So while maybe there was a little temptation to enter administration, teaching is where I belong.
I heard, could be a rumor, I heard Ridgewood High School tried to steal you away from Memorial. Is that true?
So it is true. I was coaching baseball at Pascagoula Hills and as the JV coach, and Ridgewood had opened up a position for the varsity, and I went and interviewed. And during the interview process, they had offered me the position, but then at the same time offered me a teaching position as well. And I didn't realize that initially. I thought, of course, I'll take the position. That's why I'm here. They said, no, we want you to teach as well. And at that point, I did turn down that job because I wasn't leaving.
Yeah, we're lucky. Okay, but now you've branched out a bit.
Yes.
You're an author and a motivational speaker. Tell us about how that came about, and start with the books. We've got some of them here.
I do have some of them here. So right now I have 11 books in all that's with the publisher. We have 4 that are currently released through Crossroads Publishing, LLC, and a 5th one about to be released in another week or 2. And that just started, I guess part of my background is that I love to try things. Mm-hmm. That's how we grow. So for example, just last year I just started taking guitar lessons with Vinny from Westwood Music, who's absolutely amazing. As a plug, he's amazing though, and it's something I always wanted to do. And 5 years ago, I started playing ice hockey for the first time.
Wow.
I was the president of a motorcycle club, and I had a DJ business and a baseball camp that I ran successfully for many years. So I love to venture off into new things. Mm-hmm. And books seemed like a natural way to go, knowing that retirement was probably coming sooner than later. Right. I wanted to be able to share some of my messages with the bigger picture and try to reach more children than just I can do at Memorial. So,
well, pick a couple of them. Tell us about 1 or 2 of them.
Well, I Can and I Will was actually the first book that I wrote, and that one is about a boy who, he doesn't have a lot of confidence, and at times he wishes his superpower would be to be invisible, mm-hmm. because he just doesn't want to be seen by people. But through the story, you learn that he's trying a difficult task, and with grit and perseverance, and he discovers this phrase, I can and I will, and through that and the belief in himself, he understands that he can do difficult things, and in the end, he realizes his superpower is being that positive individual and being able to fight through adversity.
Right.
So that was the first book that I wrote.
Good.
Papa's Lucky Baseball was actually the first book that was published, and that's an early reader chapter book. So the majority of my books are picture books. This is an early reader chapter book, and that's about a boy who actually I made a mistake. I digress. It's really not a boy. It's about a child, because the way I wrote it, I wanted it to be for a boy or a girl.
Sure.
And so when they read it, they can see themselves in it.
Right.
And they visit their Nana and Papa over the summer, and the child discovers that Papa's lucky baseball, but it's not just lucky, it's magical as well. And so it has a little bit of feel of Aladdin's lamp, but mm-hmm. maybe a more modern version. But what I included in this were some rules that need to be followed that will also help children kind of stay positive in their thinking, even teaching them, ways to think differently rather than that negative, letting that negative thought creep in.
Right.
There are some little nuggets in there about how they can think in a more positive way.
Well, that's great. So are the themes, because every book has a theme and
Yes.
has a message, is that what your motivational speaking thing is about? You take those themes and present them?
Absolutely, right. So every book really is based in some character education.
Okay.
So social emotional learning is really big, and it's something that we've always done in school, but it's become more popular by name in recent years. And again, that's my painting. That's about teaching children how they can look at a situation from a different angle, or whether it's a situation or a story. In this case,
Right.
it happens to be a drawing, and they learn that I don't have to be wrong for you to be right. If we look at something in a different way and from someone else's perspective, we can understand where they might be coming from.
Right,
And What
right.
If is about children who, have a little bit of anxiety, that fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So each of the books, I do try to tackle different things to help children in the grand scheme be able to feel comfortable in their own skin and be able to develop in a positive way.
And how's the reaction been when you go to speaking engagements? You speak to just parents, or you do parents and kids, and what's the reaction
So with the
been?
books, it's been with the children and the teachers. And the last one I did at the end of May was in Bergenfield, and the response was terrific. I also spoke at Memorial School as well, and again, the response has been tremendous. The children, they're very interested in the stories. They're very interested in sort of the background, where it came from, and at the end of each presentation, I do give a question and answer period, and it's nice to kind of get in the minds of what they're thinking
Sure.
with their questions, and they come
Sure.
up with some tremendous questions
That's
that
great.
really tells you that they're engaged and they're
Right.
listening.
They're listening.
And even in Bergenfield, when I was done, some teachers came up and bought some of the books, which was really neat, because that made me feel great. Like,
Yeah.
hey, hopefully they're going
Yeah,
to take it into
yeah.
their classroom, and that's kind of what they're intended. Each one of the picture books does have, in the beginning of each section, an area for parents, caregivers, and teachers. So educational points that they can read over, and then when they read the story, they can address it with their children.
Right. That's great.
you.
So 36 years, you're going into 36th year, right?
Yes.
Is it still fun? Is
It's
it still
amazing.
gratifying?
Absolutely. I absolutely love it. So it'll be 36 at Memorial and 39 overall. I guess 1 year teaching in Trenton, 2 years in Texas.
Yeah.
And then the 35 here. So it's honestly, I think I'm having more fun now than when I first started. When I
That's
started,
great.
I loved it. The kids were amazing, but there's so much you're thinking about, and am I doing it right? And just trying to make sure that you're doing all these little things. Where
Right.
now that part is gone, and now it's just doing what I do and having just an amazing time with the kids.
To the folks at home, you see this big smile on my face. When I talk to him, I mentioned it earlier, it's the joy that you're getting out of what you do is like infectious. I mean,
thank you.
we're so lucky, you people at home. You're lucky that we have teachers like Jim at Memorial. But last question.
Yes.
Does it freak you out sometimes to meet a mom and a dad of the students that you're teaching and realize that you taught them when they were kids? I mean, I'm freaking out here just thinking
Right.
it was 35 years ago when you were teaching my kids, and how
Yeah.
time has gone.
It does fly,
crazy?
right? It's
Yeah.
crazy. I absolutely love having children of people that I taught.
Right.
It's just amazing. Even when I was in Bergenfield, one of the questions that, a child raised his hand, he was like, my dad said that you taught him. And I was like, okay, who's your dad? And I knew his dad. I knew his uncle. I was able to say, well, your Uncle David, too. I taught him. But I love it. And there are several children at school now
Right.
whose parents I did have. And it's great. I get to see them. And there's one dad, I'll keep his name out of it. I don't want to embarrass him. He will still call me Mr. Freeman. And I've told him dozens of times, you can call me Jim. You're an adult. He's
No,
like,
you're an
nope,
adult
you're
now."
always Mr. Freeman.
That's funny.
But no, it's terrific. I love
It's
it.
kind of like the beat just keeps going on.
Yeah.
And if you did another 35 years, you'd be doing grandchildren. and stuff
How
like
cool
that.
would that be?
Well, Jim, thanks for visiting with us. I hope you've had a good time and enjoyed it as much as I have.
Oh, it's been great. Thank you.
So you folks at home, that's it for this edition of Montvale in Motion. I hope you guys are enjoying the summer. The new school year will be here before we know it, and we can count on the fact that Mr. Freeman will be teaching and inspiring and motivating our kids at Memorial again. So till then, this is Tony Salerno saying stay safe and stay well, and I'll see you next time.